right. It's been a little while since I've gone live or since I've posted any long form videos. I'm gonna try and keep my energy up today. It's not a high energy day for me today. And I thought we could come out and talk about it. And I thought it might be a little bit hard to talk about. But at the same time, I know I'm not the only one dealing with this. And in knowing that, and in knowing how I get out of this kind of feeling, I might try, I know I have some shadows going on, so sorry, let me just try and move some things around so I can have a little better lighting maybe. I don't know. There, yeah, that's better. So in feeling kind of down, feeling doubtful about ourselves and where we are, which path we're on, wondering if we're going in the right direction, I feel all of those things. And I especially felt some of this morning, some doubt. And I'm getting myself out of it. So I thought, why not talk about that a little bit? Talk through it because I have a process to think through it. And because I know that for me, I don't want to stay down in the dumps. I don't want to stay that way because it doesn't feel good, first of all. It doesn't feel good when we're down. It doesn't feel normal at all, for me at least. And we don't want to be there. We don't want to be in that area where we're like, nothing's working, I'm trying and it's not working out, I'm going to give up, I'm going to quit, that sort of thing. So we're going to talk through that, and I'll give some ways for all of us, me included, to get out of this and to get back on track, to get back on that path, maybe in an easy, gentle kind of version of it. So this morning I was kind of feeling down. I was feeling a little bit doubtful of like where I'm at right now. And then unfortunately I read a comment that was not so nice. I don't know. They said something in all caps and ended with like the busy idiot or something like that. I don't know. Now listen, I don't do well with this sort of thing. I don't know how people navigate bad comments or rude comments or whatever, because I am not very thick-skinned. I'm just not. And I usually just kind of, it bothers me for a little while and then I just move on, right? Because your mind gets filled up with something else and you hug your family who loves you and you just move on. And I got that comment this morning, and maybe I just shouldn't comment on other people's videos. What I commented didn't warrant that at all. So obviously people don't know where you're coming from. They don't know what you're thinking. You're not going to put all your thought processes on it. And then the other thing, my family and friends have never said something like that to me. So that's one thing that helps me get out of that kind of thing. Like when I see a rude comment or somebody posting something just inappropriate or whatever, I just think, you know what, my family and friends who know me would never say that. I've never had somebody say something like that or even close to my face. So I know that, people can hide behind a screen wherever they are and they can put whatever and then they just move on. They just move on and it's fine. I kind of muted the person so I just won't have to hear back. But sometimes it makes me feel like maybe I'm just not cut out for this social media thing. Maybe I'm not cut out for YouTube. Maybe I shouldn't be out here and maybe I'm just not strong enough. And maybe I shouldn't do it anymore. And all of this goes on like this, right? So quickly in your mind. And it makes you doubt what you're doing. Maybe I shouldn't be spending time on this, or giving so much effort, and it's like, I had a good cry. It wasn't very much, this morning was not very much fun for me. But and then it made me doubt what I'm doing. I have my books out there, I have my planners, I have my social media kind of presence, whatever, I have my platforms. And I think that some of it, I think that some of that doubt, let me know if you relate. I know I turned off the notifications because I am a little bit sensitive today. um, but let me know if this kind of relates to you. We're going down this thing, we're trying whatever it is, okay? A new job, we're trying a new hobby, we're trying to get a social media platform going, we're trying a product, we're writing a book, whatever it is. We don't know the outcome, right? We can't foresee the future. So I think that unknowingness keeps us in doubt sometimes, in worry, and keeps us saying things like I was mentioning earlier, like, what am I doing? Why am I spending time on this? It's not really working. Should I keep going? Because we don't know how it's going to go. And especially if right now isn't going how we think it should go. Like, I have my planner, I have my basement full of planners to go out to people, and I don't have any people. And I told my daughter that today, and I was like, I have this doubt because I don't know how it's going to go, which is what happens. We don't know how it's going to go. And we think, gosh, this isn't even working. And my daughter told me, okay, listen, I love you, but you haven't even tried. Like, you haven't even done a full launch or really put it out there. So how can you say that it's not working because you haven't even done that part of it? Like, you're 90% there, but that last 10% still needs to happen. And I wonder if maybe this is where you are with your goals or with the things that you're trying, that you're not all the way to that point where you might see an outcome. And so you don't know if when you get over to that last little part, that might be your last push. It might be, you need a break like I'm taking right now, which is okay. But then, you get to that point and you could give up and say it's not going to work, but you'll never know unless you push yourself to that last point. And that's where I'm at right now. And boy, it comes with a lot of determination, a lot of, I'm not going to say stress, but I'm at that point where, okay, I'm not going to give up. I can't go backwards. I've already put so much time and effort into this goal, into this thing that I'm working on, that I have to see it through. I have to keep going to the next stage. And yet that stage is kind of the scariest one. It is for me. It is the scariest part for me because once I try that last effort of like putting myself out there, putting my planner out there, if it still fails and it still doesn't like get out to people, what then? What do I do then? So that's kind of where I'm at. And some of us are like, well, I don't know if I should keep going. I don't know if I'm on the right path. And one thing that came to mind when I had that thought this morning, when I was just down in the dumps, was, how do I know to keep going with this thing? How do I know to move on to those next steps? Like I was saying, I have a whole list of things, videos, promotional things, launch ideas, a commercial to do, friends to reach, and everything. They don't even know that I've made my planner. I'll get it out because we're going to work on it in a little bit. How do we know to move on? How do we know that this is our path? And I think the easiest thing is that we woke up today. That in itself means that we're given another chance. We're given today. That, I think, is enough of a sign to say that, okay, I'm here, I've been given today, and therefore I have to keep going. As long as I'm not saying, if people are depressed or have that kind of issue, I'm saying like for the average person, because I am the average person. I woke up, I put my feet on the ground, and I went for a walk, and we've been granted today to keep moving forward. So I think that I think that it's not always easy to keep going. And I think that some of this that I'm going through right now, because I have my planner, and in here, I really try and encourage people to keep going for their goals. And up until now, I wouldn't say that it's been easy for me to go for my things and write my books that I've written and set up my platforms and set up my website and build this planner and all of the things. I have had to work at it, but I've never been hit with the things that I've kind of been hit with, some barriers that like I have this summer. Like I didn't have any energy to move forward, and I didn't have that kind of determination that I normally show up with. I haven't had the negative comments like I've had a few of them lately, and I know they're only like a couple, and it's like, come on, Stephanie, get a little bit thicker here. Just put it aside, move forward. Those aren't your people. It's okay. But I haven't had that and like ever in my life. So I'm not equipped for it. I'm not really that strong of a person to handle it. So anyway, so this summer I've talked a little bit on my channel about having some blocks, like not being able to work on videos or promotional things to launch my planner. And I haven't had that before. Like, I'm a writer. Whenever I sit down, like the words come. I don't normally have writer's block. I don't normally have a problem saying, ooh, I have this extra 20 minutes. I'm going to work on it. And this summer, like almost all summer, I've had that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to come out with a video. I don't want to edit a video. I've already filmed it maybe, and I'm not editing it. So I think that some of that is given to me for, number one, I've needed to rest. And you guys, if you need to rest, take that time. It's a sign that you need to slow down. And I've needed to slow down. I've known it, but I've always had the energy to go. So I just go. I just do the next thing. But not this summer. This summer, there's been a clear sign that I need to slow down and rest. And number two, I think that some of the reason that I've had that is so I can relate a little bit more to my audience, who might be having more of these types of struggles. Like, no, I really don't have the time. What do I do when I want to do these things? And I really don't have that energy or that drive. And I have been, if you know a little bit about my story, back in May, I was saved. I am a Christian. And, but that really showed me that, oh my gosh, you were more like a lukewarm Christian, kind of just saying it, not really living it. And a lot of this doubt that I've had, especially this morning, and a lot of this feeling down, getting hit with kind of that feeling of not doing enough or I'm failing, is bringing me back to my faith. And it is bringing me to, okay, I woke up today, therefore I am not done. I am not done with this purpose. I'm not done with this goal. And that helps me 100% in saying, okay, I know I'm not done, and therefore the only thing to do is to keep going, right? It doesn't mean all the way out, 100% out, going for it. It just means taking the next step. So I talk about that a lot. And here I even have, oh, there goes my notes. I even have my logo that says your dreams one step at a time. So here we go. But one thing that I'd like to do on Sundays is plan for the week. And we're going to grab our journal. We're going to flip to the next week if that's what you like in your journals. And we're going to just take a deep breath, and we're going to realize that we don't have to do it all today, okay? My husband was like, I know it's cliche, but Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's true, because I'm really hoping that you guys, if you have that passion, if you have something that you're going for, that you have a support system, because my family is so supportive and loving to me, and I'm so grateful for that. And if you don't have that, make new friends. Go get some people who want you to succeed, who want to support you. And I don't know if you're religious or not. This isn't a really religious channel. Um, but I am, and I am diving into that. And one thing that helps me is that God does want us to flourish. He wants us to succeed. And even if you have that in your corner and you really believe it, that can help you move forward. Because I know for me, that is helping me move forward, because you guys, I have a basement full of these. I'm not exaggerating. That I want to get in people's hands who want them. I have them on Amazon. I got that going. I have my Shopify account. And now I need to do my part, that last 10%, and get it out there. Like, do it. Just do it already. And I'm turning my page to the next week. And a lot of these things that I wrote for last week, I didn't get done. So I might even just use this same page, even though the dates are wrong, but that's okay. No, actually, I would say that I did do a lot of these things. So I'm going to turn to a new page. And that's one thing that keeps me going, is that no matter what has happened in the past, okay, so we tried to launch a product, or we tried to get a website to work, or we're in the middle of writing a book and we don't know what the plot is turning into. No matter what you're working on, we have the next week. If we need to feel like we're starting over, or you know how it's January 1st and it's like, ooh, we get that fresh start. Yay, there's the fireworks and everything. I like to feel like everybody's celebrating at the same time. They're celebrating me with the fireworks, and love fireworks. That's a fresh start. We have that fresh start feeling on the 1st of January, on our birthday, on the beginning of the month, or maybe it's a certain number that comes up during the month. Mine is 12. I love number 12. So every month when it's the 12th, I'm like, ooh, okay, it's a fresh start. We can have that every single week. You can have it every day. We don't have to wait until January 1st to have that fresh start, that newness kind of feeling. So I just turned the page and we have that fresh start this week. And no matter what has happened, no matter if we feel like we've failed, or if we have doubt or worry in ourselves and what we're working on, we can start over. We can take where we are right now, what we've learned, because guess what? Even those failures, even those past attempts, even that feeling of doubt, or like we've tried it and we've fallen, those have all helped you get to where you are right now. You've learned from those experiences. And I try and tell my daughters that. I try and teach them that also. And sometimes, my daughter, they're starting school. And my high schooler is really hard on herself. She's like, yeah, but I'm taking Spanish and that teacher's going to make us give oral exams every week. He takes us into the hall. This is what she's heard, right? She hasn't taken the class yet. He takes us in the hall and he makes us speak Spanish. And I'm like, okay, that's how you're going to learn it then. That is how that teacher has figured out to help his students learn, by maybe not making them stand up in front of the class and talking, but he knows that one-on-one somebody's gonna feel more comfortable, and then give them pointers, and then they can try it again. And I don't know where I'm going with that, with pertaining to our goals and what you're working on. I think that working up to this point right now, you have experience. You know what you're capable of, and you know what your limits are, you know what your boundaries are. Hopefully you know what you're going for. If not, it's okay. It's okay. A lot of the times people are like, oh, my purpose, I don't know what my purpose is. our purpose, I mean, this is oversimplified, okay, is to enjoy your life. You have your life. You have one life, okay? We don't want to be here and be miserable. I don't know why my computer keeps turning off, but um and I might have lost some people with that. That might be an oversimplification. I don't care. I feel like for me, that is one of my purposes, is to keep going, to keep trying. And if you're really not sure, this is not a plug, okay? Because I am gonna, once I do launch this, I am gonna go through this online. And I've been saying that for so long, that I'm gonna go through this on my YouTube channel, and I am going to do that, but I have to launch it first. I have to bite the bullet and do a launch. And that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm going to plan this week. And I turn the page to the week. So what I was going to say, I am planning on going through some of this, because in the beginning of this book, I don't know how well I can show you guys, but in the beginning, I talk about how to build our goals. And it's even from zero, okay? Like, you're like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my goals are. I walk through it in a way that makes you realize what's important to you in your life. And I call them pillars. So some of my pillars are my family, my health, feeling like I'm giving value to others. And yes, my channel is really wholesome. It's, not gossipy. I'm, not scandalous. I don't have anything like that, because to me, I feel like at my core, I'm more wholesome than that. I get up and I get ready and I exercise and I get my kids ready and I go to work. And in that, I do feel fulfilled, and I do feel like it's enough in my life. And I feel like a lot of us, this is my purpose, okay? I'm getting really raw here, but in that, I feel like people need to get back to basics. And I feel like I need to show that I feel fulfilled by being at that wholesome, basic kind of level in caring for my family and being healthy and being, the best Christian that I can, which is building. It is a hard rule. There's some rules there. But in not spending hours and hours on Instagram or scrolling or doing all of that, I feel like I'm complete. So I think that I like to share that with people, because I know that people spend hours and hours and hours on that sort of thing and still feel empty. And that's one reason why I did this planner, is because, yeah, it might sound like really cookie cutter vanilla type thing to go for your goals, but this sort of thing to really go for your goals, to go for those things that you want in life, is what makes you feel fulfilled. And those goals might be, doing my best as a parent, doing my best in school, going for the promotion or whatever at work, whatever that is for you. Nobody can tell you what that is, what's going to light you up, what's going to make you show up every day. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'll go ahead and end right there. I am going to fill out this week with the next steps. And this did help, okay? I started the day a little bit down, had a discussion with my husband. He's always there for me, which really was helpful. And I was like, you know what? I think that I can come out and talk about this, because not every day is cheery. Not every day is, oh, I get to check all those things off. And not every day is like all this progress. But every day can be a step towards where you're going. It can be meaningful, even if it's a day of rest. And I've had a lot of those this summer. And that's okay. It's okay. But I think in moving forward and after this little discussion with you, that I am going to write out some goals for the week, write out a couple of things. I'm not going to say, ooh, I'm going to finish that book edit or I'm going to finish my website. But maybe I will say instead, and you can probably relate to this when you have that big goal, okay? We don't have to finish it all in one sitting, but we can say, I want to get 2 chapters done this week. And I want to actually reach out to this Shopify bot and say, hey, how do I solve this problem on my website? So it's not fixing everything. It's not going for it all at the same time, because putting that kind of stress on us will make us stop with moving forward instead of just taking it a little bit smaller, having a little bit more generosity to ourselves and what we have to give in that moment. So I'm gonna end right here. Thanks for watching if you watched on the live, or thanks for watching the replay if you're back here. But I'm wishing you a really good week. I'm wishing you to figure out what those goals are that you want to do. Figure out what you want to do. And it's not scrolling. It's not just sitting on your phones, because you guys, oh my gosh, my family and I went out of town recently, and it went to a big town, and we're in a small town. And literally, I know I've seen videos of people like always on their phone walking down the street. That is literally how it is. Are you guys doing that? Are you like walking down the busy street looking at your phone? I don't know. And then I saw this boy, he was a teenage boy, walking his dog the other day on his phone. And I'm like, stop it. Enjoy being out with your dog. Enjoy the green grass. Stop. You know, we're not living in our phones. We're living in the world. Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that, because I feel like we say a lot of times, and then I'm going to end, but I feel like we say, I don't have time. I don't have time to go for that thing. I don't have time to clean out that room, or I don't have time to write the book, or whatever it is that you want to do. And I feel like, look at your watch time on your phone, because I do feel like we have time. I do. My daughter says that a lot. I don't have time to do that exercise, or I don't have time to read my book or whatever. And I'm like, you had time to save all of those Instagram funnies that you wanted to show me, or you had time to color in your book. So it is about making that decision. And trust me, I understand how it's harder to make the decision to do the hard thing than to not do the hard thing. So hard things aren't bad, okay? It is okay to push ourselves, and it is okay to work at something. So anyway, we are right at about, what are we? 28 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. So thank you for being here. This really did help me kind of get out of the dumps a little bit and get into that mode I am really hoping to get back into, of maybe not pushing as hard as I did last spring and all of last year before July, really, when I kind of hit a wall. But I want to get back into more of a routine, probably when the girls go back to school and we get back into that. I'll be able to say, okay, I'm going to do my YouTube videos on this day and edit them this day and get them out. And anyway, I'm going to move forward with the launch of my Busy Dreamer Role Planner. So I hope you stay tuned. I'm going to film some of it. Film. Does anybody say film? I need to switch that to record. There's no film being recorded here, or whatever, being used. So I am going to say more about my launch and come out with it. And I hope you stay tuned. And I thank you for being here and for cheering me on. I really do like your comments. So let me know what goal you're working on, where you are in that stage, how you're feeling about it, so we can all kind of cheer each other on. So I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope you plan your week with little steps of things that you can do, that you can accomplish, that aren't overwhelming. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.